So I've sorted the battery out, managed to get started up, and at low rev she's only firing on one cylinder, which tells me the idle jets are quite blocked. But looking at the state of the carbs, they need a good degunge anyway. I've already drained the fuel bowls out, so I'll get them stripped off and we'll get them in the bath. Right, so I'll just cut the fuel pipes off because I'm going to put some new ones on anyway, because say we're getting a bit manky. Helps if I get the right size spanner. 9/16. Christ, that was tight. We can have some washers on there. I haven't bothered stripping the main body out, the slider out, because I'll clean that while it's on the bike, because that's not actually looking too bad. That seal seems to be in good nick. Good. Not so much of a seal really, actually just stops the screw from bouncing out. Some new gaskets, new gasket scraper. Right then, that's a float out, float jet, float valve, you should say. Float body looks alright, the actual valve seat in there. I fitted new ones a couple of years ago. I'm not expecting any major problems with them. That one, it is. So, main jet. Looks clean enough, which is good. 7.5 inch. think that looks quite clear, but can't tell. Chuck it in. The main one is making sure all of these are clear. So wait for the bath to warm up a bit more and then we'll get it chucked in. That's all the bits in. I'm nearly at 50 degrees, so set it for 30 minutes. Typical, innit? Get the bikes out, get the carb strips off, and it starts pissing it down.
A few moments later.
So, cooking's done. Looks to be nice and hot. I chucked a few more things. I did end up taking off the slides as well. Oh, that's hot, 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 hot. Pop that there, pinch it out. As you can see, it's a lot cleaner than it was. Beautiful. Give that a blow out with the airline. Get the rest of the bits out and do the same. To dry them out, just get the airline out, give them a blast out. Crack on getting all those sorted out. So as you can see, all been blasted out with the airline, all lovely and clean. I'm going to let these dry naturally for a couple of days now. I've got to wait for gaskets anyway when I've ordered some. Everything is back as it should be in the pots, nice and clean, ready to go. Piece of advice as well, when you drain your Sonic cleaner out, let's move you over there because you can see there's plenty of clag. Drain it into a bucket or tub or similar first. If you need to with a filter, because there's a filter on this one so I'm fine with it, use an old coffee filter or muslin cloth or anything like that, because if you have missed any bits they'll get caught by that. Just don't go stick it straight down the drain because you'll lose bits. Don't ask me how I know that.
Several days later.
So that's my carbs all nice and clean and dried out. I've had my gaskets turn up, so little checks I do. Make sure the tickler still works properly. Make sure all these gantries are clear because these are the pilots that block up. In there, I'll try and get a photograph of it. There's a little nozzle. You need a 16th thou or a 0.4mm drill bit to clear that out if it gets blocked. And also make sure all these holes around here are clear. So through that way, so that goes all the way into there, out the air screw junction, back out this way, and then it goes actually into the float bowl there. So you need to make sure they're all cleared out as well. Bottom of the slider, there's number 3 listed on there. They come in various sizes. I'll put a sheet up again, shows it, and that's basically the size of the cutout there. That's 3/16 on number 3. That will become apparent later when I start tuning it all up and balancing the carbs. Just checking for damage around there, making sure there isn't anything too serious. It's a little bit worn, but this bike only does a couple of thousand miles a year, so I'm not too worried about it. Cut out into the slot there. Just make sure everything goes together nicely and it slides around, which it does. Make sure the little brass piece in there is the correct one. For 4-stroke carb it should be flat. 2 strokes it will have a cutout on it. Also Norton and Triumph did do some later ones which have different shapes on. I'll stick another sheet up to show you. And basically just checking the general condition of it, and it all looks good. I could get really finicky and clean up all the casting, flashing, etc. and polish them up, but no, it only gets covered in gunk anyway. And it all starts to put it all back together. Checked all the jets are clean, blown them all through. right way round. What is going on today? I can't even get the right size bloody spanners going. Don't go mental with it because they will snap. Only brass. Happy days. Screws into there.
I didn't say we meet them at Max's house is on the way to your house.
Puts that piece back together. With the needle, I've just checked, make sure there is no damage on there. It's all nice and clean, and I've set it to the 3rd, I think, yeah, where it was before. That's bang in the middle, the manufacturer's setting. Just going to drop that in there for now. I'm just going to check, make sure we have actually got clearance. When you put it in, you need to make sure, don't know how well you can see that, the screen's woke up, that the needle drops in to the tube. Once you stick your thumb on top, it's gone all the way down, nice and clear. It seems to be operating correctly. Right, the air screw and the slide adjustment screw do have these little grommets on. I'm not even going to attempt to try and put those on film because it takes me ages. Back in a sec. As Borat would say, great success. Bit of red rubber grease helps. Using a pick, just get them in. Right, so air screw at the side. And snug that all the way down. So it's just touching, and then 1.5 turns out. So there's half, 1, half. Throttle adjustment screw. Drag it in there. Well, you can see that it'll actually come through. The camera can actually pick up on it. It comes in just there. We'll adjust that properly when the slide goes on. Right, to get a throttle cable on, I found using this little tiny pair of vice grips helps. I've lubed the cable up as well. So put that in the hole, you hook it through, and then it comes back on itself and into that one. We then drop the needle down. I'll put it on the middle again, keeps on falling off for some reason. It's sat like that. We can then undo the vice grips. Make sure the spring sits on there and is sat snugly in the bottom, which it is. Get it all lined up. Come on, there you go. That is the main body done. Just check that it's working. Beautiful. Some of you may have noticed I put the clip on the wrong groove on the needle. I've now sorted that out. Dickhead. Right, we're on with a bowl now. Make sure that these are all cleared out. And just check the bottom as well of that valve seat. All appears to be good. I've also flat plated all of this because these do have a habit of warping. What you can do, you can put a straight edge across them just to make sure they are not warped. This one's okay. I have got the anti-sink floats on these and aluminium valves. check the float height. It's between 60 and 80 thou, and I've actually marked 70 thou on there. How well you can see that. There's a little line I've marked on there. So we'll get it popped in and we'll check the height on these. These are better because you can actually bend the tang to adjust it. So holding down the pin, check that, and it's way off. We've got a good 1/8 of an inch there. So a bit of bending and we'll try and get it sorted. So a bit of fettling later, we ain't far off. I'm happy with that. It's near us. You can see it. Trust me, it's there. When the gasket goes on, you need to check is you don't block these two holes up here. You get the gasket on the right way around, like that. Right, checking the little gauze filter for damage. That looks all right. What we're doing, don't need that. That doesn't go on there. To get the orientation right on that one, which is about that way. I'll do a final nip up and orientation when it's on the bike. Last but not least, we need the drain on it. Fibre wash is a bit tight on that, which is a good thing. We can nip that right up. Need a bigger screwdriver. There we go, one fully assembled carb. All working, all good, ready to go back on the bike and be set up. So there we have it, both carbs rebuilt, ready to go back on the bike. I will do a separate video on actually tuning the bike up once they're fitted. Thanks for watching.